welcome to the This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode 82 for May 2017. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, shamanic healer, and awakening activator, and it's my pleasure to bring you these monthly astrology forecasts. As always, all I'm giving you in this forecast is the biggest, most important events. If you'd like the more detailed itinerary of what's happening astrologically during a month, then please check out my podcast or my website. My podcast is thisweekinastrology.com. You can find it on iTunes, or you can get to it from my website, astroshaman.com. So what's new here in May? We've got a Scorpio full moon. Its opportunities amplified by a flowing cradle aspect pattern. We also have Mercury turning direct. In fact, it's already happened as I record this. A variety of aspect patterns and an 8.5-month Saturn-Uranus trine. Plus, there's a 3-month Jupiter-Neptune quincunx, a Gemini New Moon, and more. What's old as we come into May? As of May 5th, we've got a waxing moon. We've got a Yad with the Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune through the 9th, a Thor's hammer through the 10th with Ceres, Juno, Jupiter, and Pluto, and a T-square through June 4th with Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto. 2 planets are retrograde as I record this on May 4th, Jupiter through June 9th and Pluto through September 28th. So that brings us up to the current moment. Now let's look at the individual events of the forecast. On Wednesday, May 3rd, Mercury turned direct, and that was at 24 degrees Aries. It turned retrograde back on April 9th at about 5 degrees Taurus. As the winged messenger backpedaled, I recommended that you first reflect on your material possessions, sensuality, persistence, and just beingness. Those are Taurus keywords. And then ponder how you're acting as the warrior, pioneer, entrepreneur, and sexual being. Those are Aries keywords. With Mercury now direct, feel free to start taking definitive action based on the insights you've gained. You can also proceed with any contract signings, major purchases, or any other significant event you were delaying while Mercury was retrograde. To discover the optimal timing for important new events and purchases, I recommend using electional astrology. On my website, on my Astrology Plus services page, I call that event timing. On Thursday, May 4th, if you bring the focus, a Sun, Jupiter, Neptune Yad, or Finger of God, that started on April 30th, peaks today on May 4th, and ends on May 9th, can deliver some sweet results. A focus on embodied awakening, that's the Taurus Sun, sextile Piscean Neptune, can bring new joy and expansion, Jupiter, to your life. This aspect pattern can also amplify your law of attraction manifestation power. On Friday, May 5th, the Ceres, Juno, Jupiter, Pluto, Thor's hammer that started back on April 27th peaks today on May 5th, and it will end on May 10th. As I said back on April 27th, the emphasis is on Ceres' diverse core meanings, which are abundance, sorrow, release and return, and mother-daughter relationships. Any or all of these can be potently magnified by the Jupiter-Pluto square on the aspect pattern's back end. Juno's presence suggests that a committed partnership of some kind may fire up these effects, or perhaps that partnership can support you in working with whatever challenges or opportunities arise. On Wednesday, May 10th, May's full moon illuminates the sky at 5:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 20 degrees 24 minutes Scorpio. What adjustments would make your life more wonderful in the areas of death and rebirth, shared resources, the occult, and psychology? How about sacred sex, shadow work, and personal transformation? And don't forget more mainstream areas such as taxes, accounting, insurance, and inheritance. Scorpio covers a lot of ground and needs 4 symbols more than any other astrological sign to do it: snake, scorpion, eagle, and phoenix. Aspects? It's a cradle! This full moon's most significant aspects are tight sextiles from Juno and Pluto and a trine from Neptune. These aspects, along with the Sun, form a cradle aspect pattern, as you can see. Pluto embodies the same Scorpio meanings I detailed a moment ago. Pluto's tight conjunction with Juno and Capricorn can help transform your committed partnerships to be more practical and productive. Neptune supports flow and soul connection in those areas that align with your soul purpose and will help dissolve whatever isn't. This full moon's aspects can help you flow into whatever transformations are needed to deepen your spiritual awakening or inspired creativity. If you've been working solo, would a committed partnership of some kind make your transformation and spiritual growth easier? This full moon's Sabian symbol is obeying his conscience. A soldier resists orders. Intimate connection and committed partnership are strong themes of this lunation. Are you meekly acquiescing to a partner's preferences when they conflict with yours? If so, this full moon can provide a good opportunity to shift that pattern. It's amazing how often you can work out solutions that meet everybody's needs. An excellent guidebook for this process is Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. Check it out on Amazon. More broadly, this Sabian symbol asks if you're willing to hold the line and act only in those ways that align with your soul resonance. This requires awakening from what author Charles Eisenstein calls the story of separation. For an inspiring examination of this theme, check out Eisenstein's extraordinary book called The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible. You can read it online for free. The new golden age now dawning on Earth supports each person becoming their own authority and doing whatever brings them the greatest joy. The sooner each one of us embodies that, the sooner that day will come. Ease, the embodied awakening support experience, offers you free weekly events via phone or web to help you enjoy more harmony, grace, and flow, eliminate suffering, boost your intuition, experience more synchronicity, stop mental chatter and challenging emotions, live each day in a peaceful, awakened state, enjoy support from kindred spirits on your journey, and much more. The online recording library, over 85 MP3s and constantly growing, lets you experience the life-transforming power of ease anytime. You can find ease on astroshaman.com. Just go to Services, click third service down right now is Ease, and you can check out the description. On Saturday, May 13th, a T-square begins with Venus, Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto. In fact, this new T-square simply adds Venus to the existing T-square that features Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto. This revision of my April 18th interpretation of that T-square with Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto includes Venus's influence. It's actually revised quite a bit from the original. A relationship can be an extraordinary crucible for power dynamics and transformation. These processes are potently amplified by a T-square featuring Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto. This 7-week aspect pattern began on April 18th, peaks here on May 16th, and ends on June 4th. Adding Venus creates a briefer Venus, Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, Pluto T-square that starts on the 13th of May today, peaks on the 22nd, and ends on the 29th. The apex of the T-square with Venus still focuses on conjoined Juno and Pluto. This highlights transformation and empowerment in committed partnership. Venus also represents relationships, so this doubles down on the partnership theme. With Juno and Pluto in Capricorn, there's an emphasis on working together efficiently and productively. Juno and Pluto receive a square from Pallas and Venus in Aries. Pallas, the planet of feminine assertiveness, wants the female partner, or whoever's usually more receptive, to stand up and make sure she's getting as good as she's giving. Venus in Aries wants the same thing. In the T-square's third corner, Libra and Jupiter strives to maintain fairness and harmony. He also stands ready to contribute enthusiasm, joy, and celebration. A brand new theme added by Venus in Aries is to be boldly assertive in your creative expression. No project is too big, and let no taboo inhibit your vision. This T-square can also be financially empowering if handled with courage and common sense. If ignored or used selfishly, this T-square could fire up power plays, conflict, and aggression. Used consciously for a win-win outcome, it can promote honesty, cooperation, and a new level of pleasure and effectiveness in your committed partnerships. Moving into the second half of the month, on Tuesday, May 16th, we have the T-square peaking with Juno, Pallas, Jupiter, and Pluto. Now, on May 13th, just a moment ago, I interpreted the new T-square that featured those four guys and Venus that runs through May 29th. Today, the T-square that's based on, with all the same planets except Venus, peaks. This underlying T-square started on April 18th, peaks today on May 16th, and goes until June 4th. You know what? The interpretations for these two T-squares are extremely similar, so rather than repeat a bunch of stuff I just said, let's just say that pretty much everything I said about the T-square with Venus extends through June 4th. If you want to read my full interpretation for the T-square without Venus, it's on astroshaman.com in my forecast for the second half of April on April 18th. There, enough said about that. On Wednesday, May 17th, healing crisis, healing breakthrough, or both. All these are possibilities as a Mars-Saturn-Chiron T-square begins today on May 17th, peaks on the 30th, and ends on June 11th. Chiron, the planet most associated with healing, is at the focal point of this powerful aspect pattern. His placement in Pisces suggests that spiritual healing modalities might be especially effective. If challenge arises on any level, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, consider it an invitation to heal whatever the issue is. Many people have been helped, by the way, by my healing invocation. You can find that on astroshaman.com. Look for that purple banner on the top of the homepage sidebar. You're seeing it right there. Click it. Takes you to a special page, fourth post down with the screaming man. That's the one about the healing invocation. Now back to this aspect pattern. Challenge could be catalyzed by the squares to Chiron from Mars and Saturn. These are the two malefics, or bringers of misfortune, of ancient astrology, and they can certainly roil the waters. But these planets also have plenty of high side potential. Mars can energize you with leadership, fresh energy, and the passion to rise above adversity. And Saturn can help you move to the next level of maturity, discipline, time management, planning, and implementation. The more you've already done your personal healing work, the more Chiron can express through you in its more life-affirming ways: healer, mentor, shaman, or awakener. We could also think of Saturn and Chiron energizing Gemini and Mars. This can empower you to step out with authority and wisdom as you fire people up with exciting new information. Also, on Wednesday, May 17th, you have nearly 3 months through August 11th to milk the high side of Libran Jupiter, quincunx Piscean Neptune. The 150-degree quincunx tends to be awkward initially, but can bring planets together dynamically when you make the necessary adjustments. This aspect can help you experience more spiritual energy in your religious practice. It can also help you imagine more vividly in the areas of religion, politics, higher education, and foreign countries. Jupiter also amplifies Neptune's natural high-side expressions of spirituality and inspired creativity. Any astrological situation can have both high and low manifestations. With Jupiter quincunx Neptune, beware of excessive escapism, substance abuse, aimlessness, or playing the victim. Also, be careful not to overextend yourself or assume that you're right while everyone else is wrong. I offer an unbeatable price on the world's #1 astrology software. SolarFire 9 is the world's leading astrology software for Windows. A Mac running Windows and recent Windows tablets will also run SolarFire. Here's what the reviewers are saying. First, a pleasure to interact with, more than enough applications to keep even the most experimental of you in a sustained state of bliss. Another reviewer said, an astrological program you are unlikely ever to outgrow. And lastly, from top 10 reviews, SolarFire tops our list of the best astrology software. It's a perfect 10 in all categories. Wow. And you know what? No one sells SolarFire 9 for less than Astro Shaman. To learn about how I can give you the absolute best price on the web on this amazing software, go to astroshaman.com, go to products, you'll see SolarFire in the pull down. You can go to the page and learn more about it. On Friday, May 19th, you'll have 8.5 months to maximize the benefits of a Saturn-Uranus trine after its exact on May 19th. These planets have very different natural orientations, but I've discovered how they can play happily together while they're in aspect all the way through February 2nd of 2018. Saturn only recognizes the material world and is very good at structuring things in that realm. But Uranus represents the mind of your higher self, and I have found its intuitive flashes to be the most reliable source of information available. So the basic idea is to catch Uranus's intuitive flashes, then assign Saturn the practical work of carrying them out. Both planets will be happy, and the more earthly planet will be properly subordinate to the more divine one. Saturn and Uranus will find it especially easy to get along since they're connected by a 120-degree trine, a naturally harmonious aspect. Trines give you a certain amount of connection for free, but tend to be lazy. So what you get out of this aspect will largely depend on how much energy you put into it. Saturn changes signs about every 2.5 years and shifts from Sagittarius to Capricorn on December 19th toward the end of this trine. Of course, Saturn's happy to structure anything at all, but while he's still in Sagittarius, he's especially inclined to bring structure to religion, philosophy, higher education, foreign travel, and having a good time. Once he enters Capricorn on December 19th, he adopts a more business-like attitude. Now he orients more naturally toward maturity, responsibility, discipline, and accomplishment. On Saturday, May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini at 4:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting the energy of learning, communication, playfulness, and variety for the next month. On Thursday, May 25th, May's new moon lines up at 3:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's in Gemini at 4 degrees, 46 minutes. Like any Gemini new moon, this is great for putting new energy into learning and sharing information. You can also cultivate more playfulness and variety in your life. Gemini has a Peter Pan vibe. It can be associated with bisexuality and, like a rock skipping over water, favors diversity over depth. Aspects. This full moon aspects all 4 asteroid goddesses. The first is a conjunction to Ceres. This can aid in her widely varying themes of abundance, sorrow, and cycles of release and return. A sextile from Vesta asks if you're enjoying enough variety in how you're serving a higher cause, or if there's more you need to learn about it to improve your service. This new moon receives minor hard aspects from Pluto, Juno, Venus, and Pallas. Taken together, their dominant theme is relationships. Are you experiencing communication challenges with those you're close to? If so, I'm once again eager to recommend the amazing book Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. I mentioned it earlier in the video. If you two are stuck in a stagnant or toxic rut, how can you mix in some fresh thinking or activities? This new moon's Sabian symbol is a radical magazine or publication asking for action displays a sensational front page. Is there some revolutionary change you're passionate about promoting? Is it time for you to stop worrying about what other people might think and just speak your truth? Would you like to deepen your insight, healing, and awakening? Your astrology chart can reveal a wealth of information about your soul purpose, optimal career, and ideal romantic partner. Spirituality, timing, relocation, your chart can provide helpful insights into every area of life. Getting a yearly Astrology Plus update from Astro Shaman can help you focus on what's important now. I also offer shamanic healing, which can reduce or eliminate physical, emotional, and mental issues. Your shamanic healing session will also give you simple, powerful techniques you can use on your own. These can help you take your healing and spiritual awakening to the next level. Additionally, I offer awakening activation, event timing, and more. All my services are equally effective in person, by phone, or by Skype. A digital recording of your session is included, and my guarantee makes it risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, it's free. I love my work and look forward to helping you. Learn more at astroshaman.com. Just click Services on the menu bar. On Saturday, May 27th, Saturn and Chiron, already forming a T-square with Mars through June 11th, become part of a new aspect pattern today on May 27th. This Thor's hammer features the Saturn-Chiron square on the back end with Vesta at the apex. This Thor's hammer peaks on June 6th and ends on June 12th, just one day after the T-square wraps up. You already know from my T-square interpretation that this Saturn-Chiron square can bring challenge and that healing and structure are prominent themes. Regarding Vesta, I interpret her on 3 levels. The first 2, which always apply, are honing yourself into a finely tuned instrument of service and serving a higher cause. The third, which you can take or leave, is sex magic, using sexual energy to empower your law of attraction manifestations. You can harness this Thor's hammer by using disciplined energy in service to a higher cause to promote some kind of healing. You could offer yourself as a mentor, Chiron, or seek one for yourself to empower your service work. Sexual healing is also strongly supported. However you use this Thor's hammer, note that Vesta is at the focal point in extroverted Leo, don't hesitate to draw appropriate attention to your cause. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes' #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology. It's also free. You can get my twice-a-month astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page where I post daily forecasts. In fact, I'm also posting daily forecasts on Twitter and LinkedIn, for that matter. As I mentioned earlier, my personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.